Northland Health Centers is always here to offer some encouraging words. Good morning and thanks for being here.
Yes, good morning. Thanks for having me.
What are some of the, we were talking during the commercial break a little bit, and I'm going to ask it on the air. What are some of the stresses that students are facing this time of year?
Well, I think students and parents too. Students, depending on the age, elementary, there's changes of what am I going to do over the summer? When am I going to see my friends? Middle school, that could also be a thing. Friends and being around their school buddies and things like that is important to them, or getting excited for summer camps, or just being away from schools. Many people enjoy that structure of having school and seeing that, but also not having the work that goes with school, but having the time around the people that they enjoy. And high schoolers, of course, it's the end of school. There could be finals, there could be semesters, graduating, and parents hustling and bustling.
The thought of what's next year, even though you maybe have decided you're going to college or trade school or
college.
whatever. Exactly right. All right, now maybe mostly for high schoolers who are facing finals and those kind of things, but one of the things that you talk about is the stress is there, but take breaks. Tiny breaks are better than no break at all.
Yeah, if you can get a little micro break, even 5 to 10 minutes can slow your roll, slow your mind down, right? Because when we're overwhelmed, when we have so many things going, our mind just wants to race. And when it's racing, we can't really do any logical, rational thinking at that time. Sure, we'll have lots of thoughts, but they're not organized thoughts. And if we're going to be effective and motivational to ourselves, slowing down and having that organized and prioritized thought can be very, very helpful.
Right, because those thoughts are racing over the top of each other, and sometimes they get convoluted.
Clustered, and
you're exactly right. All right, now you talk about something called the 3-3-3 rule. What is that?
The 3-3-3 is a really quick and easy thing that you can do to help kind of ground yourself. So 3 things that you can see, just look around you, did you see things that are in front of you, three things that you can hear, and 3 things that you can feel. Can help you. You're using your senses in order to ground you to the present moment.
It's bringing you back, isn't it? It just grounds you a little bit, like you say, for mindfulness in that moment. Okay, now what's the rule of 1?
The rule of 1 is one thing at a time.
Okay.
That's the best way to increase your productivity, because when we start thinking about all the things we have to do, we skip that one step and then we get mad at ourselves that we forgot that one step. So just doing one thing at a time helps us keep that stress and increase our productivity.
Okay, I was no Einstein, but I was a pretty good student, but I had a bad habit of cramming, and you say that's not a great thing, because number 1, sleep. You don't get the sleep that you should.
Right. Yeah, and sleep is very important. I mean, our mind and body are very connected, and when we're stressed, we'll feel that in our body. And if we're not allowing our body time to rest, it's hard to recoup and be resilient for these ongoing stresses that keep coming. A lot of them can be situational, but if we're not resting and prepared for them, they can become overwhelming and feel very pressing on heavy on us.
Okay, and with all of those activities, sometimes we have to say no. You can't be at every event all the time.
Yes, and drop of perfection. But if you want to be everywhere, you got to prioritize. You got to pick the things that are most important to you that you need to do. You can't be all, do all. We are super women, super men, but there's a limit.
Now, you also talked earlier about the fact that, organize and get, start and get something done, but you also say it's important to celebrate the wins, no matter how small they are.
Yes. One thing that we lose in this process is we focus on the outcomes, and we don't give enough credit on our efforts, because sometimes the outcomes aren't totally controllable by us because there's other people involved, other factors that we can't control in that outcome, but we can control our effort. So if we really focus on our effort, that can help us really motivate us, because the effort is what helps us get to that outcome.
It's one of those things, it kind of coincides with, instead of the destination, enjoy the journey getting there, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. We talked about sleep, but it's also important to maintain a proper diet.
Yep, same thing with that. If we're not hydrated, we're not well nourished, our body and our mind, hangry is a real thing.
It is.
It really is. My kids are testaments. I was that way too, but we need that fuel for our body to use that energy.
It doesn't affect me though.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm just fine. All right, we're down to a minute. Here's something, we were talking about this, and it wasn't related to our conversation, but Heidi and Hannah and I were talking about this before the show started. limit your social media.
Yes, social media can just bring on that impressing, never-ending doom scroll where you just have everything coming at you and it feels less controlling. You feel powerless over that. And during times when you're overwhelmed and you're trying to manage your time, let's take a break from that for 10, 15 minutes. Just that 10, 15 minutes can help us reset and refocus on what we can control, the here and now.
And finally, keep in mind that all these things that we're feeling right now, at some point, they're going to be behind you, and it'll all be over with.
It's temporary.
Yes.
We will have time for rest, but the times, you know, we're cherishing some of these moments and cherish them so you don't miss them.
Sounds great. How do we find you?
Absolutely. You can reach us on the web, you can give us a phone call, or you can reach us on Facebook.
Sounds great. Jenny, thank you so much. Always wonderful information and something to keep in mind. Write these things down. They'll help you.
Thank you so much.